We are at the ESRI Startup Zone, and I came across this sci-fi device. I don't know what it is. And Geoff, you need to tell me what it is and what you guys do with this sci-fi device.
We're from Pufferfish, based out of Edinburgh in Scotland, and what we have here is a digital spherical projection. So truly interactive, truly multi-touch. What we're looking at here at ESRI in particular, what we're looking at is being able to represent ESRI datasets on the sphere. ESRI themselves have described this as the most natural platform to put global datasets. It makes complete sense, of course it does. But of course what we can also do is not just look at the dataset, but start to zoom in and actually interrogate those datasets a lot further. So within the context of a global data set, but then to be able to interrogate it and go into very fine detail, it's a very natural interface to be able to do that, and it's a very powerful storytelling device.
Why did you actually think about making this guy?
The background to Pufferfish is actually nothing to do with this world at all, but it's much more to do with the fact that we began, and the reason we're called Pufferfish is we began with very big inflatable spheres, and we were looking at the sort of events and I guess AV world really. So our big breakthrough customer was Coldplay. Coldplay took 7 very large spheres on tour with them. But what we knew right from the start was that a globe is a very compelling interface. It's a very compelling medium, and we talk about it as the digital campfire because it's exactly that. People are very compelled by what is a very natural object. A sphere is a very natural object. Think of it as the crystal ball. People have always been fascinated by it as a shape, and they really react and respond to it extremely well. And you can tell stories very well by using a sphere.
This guy can work for 3 people at a time, you say?
In this instance, we've got it on set so it can work for 3 people at a time. If we touch something, we stop it rotating. What you're now seeing is there are actually 3 different screens, potentially presenting 3 completely different views and allowing 3 different people to interact. We can split it slightly differently if that's what people want, but 3 makes sense because a third is pretty much what works.
Is this the actual size of these guys, or this can be huge, or this can be small as we want?
We can not much smaller than this at the moment, but who knows in the future. But much bigger if you really want it to be. But the reason that we have this size and the reason that we're showing this size is actually because the resolution means that you can actually display meaningful data on it and get sufficient resolution that you can actually interpret that data. Also, it means that you and I can interact around the display. It's not just about me or you individually having our kind of engagement with the sphere. We can actually talk to each other across the top of it. So we think this is a kind of an extreme, it's the right size in terms of being able to display the data meaningfully but also interact around it.
Oh, this guy is rotating automatically, so you have this option also enabled?
We have whichever option you like really. So it's a digital sphere. So it's we put on it whatever makes sense and however we think people will interact best with it, and they'll understand what the data that we're presenting tells the story, and that's so lots of options.
I should say this is a very cool product, but who are your customers actually using this product?
We've got a whole variety of customers. So we've got some very large corporations for whom they have global data. They want to effectively present outreach stories to people. They're keen to be able to put it in the context of the globe and yet then also still be able to get down into a local story. So we have the likes of Shell, we have United Nations, we have Microsoft, we have IBM, many museums, many universities, because inevitably you can imagine schools of geoscience are extremely taken with the capability to actually present global data. So many different markets for us.
Thank you, Scott.